interject yourself into the conversation. You know you will.
Uncontrollably, it's an impulse.
Especially when we start discussing things.
Alright. Welcome back to the Jazz and Eli podcast. I'm Eli.
I'm Jazz.
And today we are reacting to
Headlines?
Headlines. Sorry, I'm reading some of them.
She's jumping ahead of the game here.
Okay, sorry. And we're going to react to them genuinely. Kind of. Some of them we've already heard throughout the days.
Well, we stay fairly connected, so, it's hard not to hear some of it. But,
right.
Of course, there's always the biggest thing today so far, and that's the Bill Cosby thing.
That's one of the biggest things today, yeah, for sure.
So, if you're listening to this later, well, now you know what day it is.
Right.
Bill Cosby got found guilty of sexual assault in retrial. He looks sad. Let's see. How about an advertisement? Well, basically, he got. Oh, he's 80. We were discussing that earlier.
Well, yeah, I doubt he's gonna live that long.
Yeah, I don't know that he'll actually do any time.
Probably not.
Generally, people of his age and socioeconomic status don't do time.
Yeah.
He could, though, I suppose. Maybe they'll just give him, house arrest and huge fines or something due to his age.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is rather old and infirm. But, I'm glad that he was
properly convicted.
Yeah, they got their justice. I mean, that's hard to do against somebody who's that well-respected, he was huge in the industry. It's honestly, I'm amazed that they succeeded.
Yeah,
because it gets brushed aside far too frequently.
Yeah, especially a lot of rape cases.
Yeah, especially rape cases.
Even if it gets that far, half the time. So
yeah, but I think also it's a product of the time frame that he was actually being tried in. We are sort of in the middle of a huge, the Me Too movement, basically.
Right.
So, faces years in prison. Bill Cosby's alma mater to reconsider honorary degree. Why women never expected Bill Cosby to be convicted.
Maybe that one.
I
want to learn a little more about that. Bill Cosby's conviction shocked me because I've learned to expect the worst.
It's really shocking to wit. Let's see, this is... Sorry if I butcher your name, hon. It's Scotchy Cool?
From
on BuzzFeed, just so we are properly...
BuzzFeed News reporter.
Yep.
On a BuzzFeed News website.
Yep. Just so we're properly citing here. It's rarely shocking to women when men do harm. What's shocking is when they're actually brought to justice. True that. Like I said, I was really... I wasn't holding my breath on that one. He was such an icon in the industry.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah. And considering the first few times we went through it, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Cosby's first rape trial ended in a mistrial in June 2017 after the jury deliberated for 6 days, only to end in a deadlock. For many women, watching that first trial end without a satisfying conviction felt like an intense disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, shockingly, they spent lifetimes trying to dismantle rape culture and an environment that protects rapists and abusers instead of their accusers. Okay, let's see. Pruitt dodges blame. What is he dodging blame from?
And this is all on Google News.
Yeah,
this is the top stuff.
Yeah, we're just pulling stuff out of Google News. This is off Politico. Anthony Adragna and Annie Snyder and Alex Gulen. Let's see. Pruitt dodges blame. Let's see. The EPA chief told lawmakers his staff made decisions on pricey security measures and pinned his troubles on President Donald Trump's critics. Yeah, blame the critics because you spent thousands of dollars you weren't entitled to spend.
How much did he spend?
Let's see. $43,000 on a privacy booth and more than $100,000 in first-class flights and even said he has no idea whether his chief policy advisor showed up for work at all during a 3-month stretch.
Whoa.
He also hired a couple of his buddies from Oklahoma and gave them gigantic raises and then claimed he had no clue, and he put a stop to that as soon as he found out about it. Like 5 seconds after he got caught.
Yeah.
Like, gave them raises bigger than I make in a year. You know, like $50,000 raise for one of them. Yeah.
Whoa.
And then claimed he had to sign off on this, and he claimed he had no clue. Anyway,
he was our Attorney General?
Yeah, he was our Attorney General.
Oh
he is
my God.
now the person in charge of the EPA.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what he did here in Oklahoma and got away with.
Oh yeah,
I'm so tired of the corrupt people in politics because they're fucking us over so hard, and we're their bosses.
Well, how many earthquakes? We've hit like 7,000 since 2011 or something like that.
Whoa.
You were telling me about it last night. Yeah, he fucked over Oklahoma, and now he's turned his sights on fucking over the rest of the country. Sorry, guys.
Anyone who disagrees, I'm sorry. You can go ahead and rant at us down in the comments section below.
Live with our earthquakes and the damage this man has done to our state, and then you can talk to me about it.
No shit.
2,724 earthquakes since 2010.
Yeah, 2,700 earthquakes since 2010.
That's a
when
lot.
we used to never have any. I never wanted to go to California because of their earthquakes. Yeah, that was a wise choice. Yeah, I got to see my house lean once. That was fun.
Yeah.
Sitting there, I hear a loud boom and watch my house kind of lean to the side for a second. Yeah, that was my first experience with an earthquake.
It was scary.
It was terrifying.
Everyone thought the school, part of the school had blown up.
I thought the school had blown up.
Shit, we're talking about an earthquake, and there was just a 2.8.
Yeah, most of them we don't feel. That was like
today at 5:30 p.m.
Yeah, most of them we don't feel, but
yeah, some people feel them when they're like right in the middle of it.
Right, but yeah, most of the time Norman isn't really near much of it. We're not near any fracking wells though.
Oh yeah, fair.
The one that leaned my house was over 10 miles. The epicenter was over 10 miles away. It wasn't in Norman.
It was like in Cushing. It was like a 4.6 or something.
Yeah, and we got a.
It was huge.
It was huge, and
I was in the middle of the PSATs.
It was crazy. There was this loud boom, and then everything leaned.
We were about to start the PSATs, and one of the bigger kids, like myself, he was the unfortunate one to have sat down at the exact moment.
Oh no! Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Oh, that poor kid.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight since then.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Oh, it was Perry. 4.6 was in Perry.
I'm not even sure where Perry is. But it was far enough. I mean, it wasn't actually here, but we felt it.
It was.
We don't feel a lot of them. Some people do, some people don't. I don't really feel a whole lot of them.
Perry's had one earthquake in last 24 hours. 16 the last 7 days.
I was happy when the worst thing we had to worry about was
477 in the last year.
I'll go back to just worrying about tornadoes, man. Damn.
I'm worried about the entire planet. Oh my god.
Right.
And every time I pick up the parking lot and there's so much trash everywhere, and I'm just like, this is so bad for the environment.
For real. We're killing ourselves.
Like, cigarette butts out the ass. Oh my god, they're in the grass, they're in the leaves, they're literally every 2 steps there's 3 cigarettes.
Yeah, I bet.
It's pretty bad.
I used to be one of those people that just flicked my cigarette away. I mean,
Colorado's had 37 earthquakes in the last year.
I have a place for those. Like, when I have visitors over, they're not just tossing them in my grass.
Right.
Just throw them in the bucket. That's all I ask.
They provided buckets, too.
Trinidad's where John wanted to go?
No,
That's when you start being a dick and be like, yo, you need to stop fucking just tossing it in my lawn.
Pee.
I was on a different topic.
Yeah, I know.
I ran.
Trinidad had a 4.0 last year. earthquake.
Yeah, that's where Tippy's parents live.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So I knew somebody was going to be. See, even Colorado's got earthquakes.
Yeah, but probably due to fracking.
Oh,
They have fracking there too.
Wyoming.
All right, let's move on.
We need to stop.
We need to stop. Yeah,
We
need to stop tearing up this planet. Okay, so here's an interesting story. Authorities use DNA genealogy website to track down Golden State Killer suspect decades after crimes. This one kind of bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you hand over your DNA to these corporations just to figure out, your genealogy, maybe find a relative or two. You don't expect them to turn it over to law enforcement.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like there's some sort of expectation of privacy, but there isn't, though.
Yeah.
When you send your shit into those people,
You are giving your DNA to them.
You sign off their right to own your DNA after that.
Mm-hmm.
They own that piece of your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
That is theirs to do with whatever they wish.
please.
Yeah. And
that's worrisome.
it is. But, people want to find out. And at the same time, you've got to submit to that if...
It makes me wonder what they're doing with that other than...
Right?
Like, you own that? Why do you need to own it?
Right?
Why do you need...
They have the rights to it.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to do with that?
Really?
But fortunately, 2 of my relatives have already done it on both sides of my family, so I don't need to.
Yeah.
2 male relatives on both sides. One of my mom's, one of my dad's. Close enough.
Yep.
I know enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's close.
Now, if we wanted to find out something about your side, your dad's side, brother.
Some idiot on your side would have to post about how they got their genealogy.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to have my DNA.
No, same.
Not a serial killer or anything, but I don't really want them to have it either.
So, how did that go about, though? Like, what did they do with that information?
Well, the hell, that Golden State Killer was an ex-cop, too.
Whoa. So, is he still alive?
Well, let's see.
I have so many questions. Like, what'd they do after that?
Alright, so now we're on the Washington Post by Mark Berman, Justin Juvenal, and Avi Selk. Sorry if I mispronounced your names, guys. Let's see. Authorities use DNA, Let's see. The Golden State Killer was meticulous at his crime scenes over the course of a decade.
And in several cities, leaving scant evidence for police.
There were no fingerprints. Few saw his face. What he did leave, his DNA, was at the time not useful to police. 4 decades later, with far better DNA technology and widespread use of it, that genetic material became critical to possibly solving one of the most vexing serial murder sprees in U.S. history.
Whoa.
Authorities said they were able to link their suspect to the stream of crimes by using a genealogy service to trace the genetic material to one man they believed killed at least a dozen people, Joseph James D'Angelo. Investigators tracked down the 72-year-old former police officer and retired mechanic by comparing DNA collected at numerous crime scenes to information submitted to an online genealogical service.
Because he was a cop.
While the details of how the search unfolded were not immediately clear,
he knew how to get around it.
distant relatives led investigators to him. Oh, let's see. They told the news that a genetic profile from one of D'Angelo's distant relatives led investigators to him. Once they narrowed their search based on D'Angelo's age, where he lived, and his likeness to sketches victims had helped develop over the years, authorities were able to follow him and ultimately collect his DNA on a discarded item. The DNA match meant they had their chief suspect. They did not identify the company or companies involved, but such services are increasingly used by people who submit their own genetic information to learn more about their ancestry and family tree.
So, regardless of me turning in my DNA willingly,
because you have had relatives that turn their DNA in.
Yep.
In a way, you've lost some rights to a piece of your DNA.
Without my permission.
Well, and there's really nothing you can do about it because your DNA is similar to theirs.
Fuck.
You can't help it. There's nothing you can do about that.
Damn it, my family members are idiots. My dad's the only safe one. We're all going to be mind-controlled robots by the end of the week.
Whatever. Okay, let's not get hyperbolic here.
This is what anxiety does to you.
Right.
Planet X is supposed to cause problems shortly anyways. Or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
X.
that's right. Okay.
Is it, when's the 28th? Oh, is that today?
No.
When is that?
That's 2 days.
Oh, it's in 2 days.
Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I don't know.
We'll see. I don't know. Aliens were supposed to be taking over on the 18th, and that didn't happen, I guess.
Maybe
I don't know.
that-
Maybe they already did.
More teachers are walking out over lack of education funding. And
Good.
you'd think in a place like Colorado where they got all that sweet, sweet weed money that they would not be having these issues. But this is what happens when legislators
corrupt politicians and legislators,
usurp the money. They have the money.
they're just not putting it towards
They're not putting
anything.
it where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad.
Yeah. Especially since Colorado is one of the places we wanted to move to.
Yeah, but it's still better than here.
So, yeah.
Their teachers still get paid more than ours do.
Fair.
They get more
But
funding
still-
than we do.
That's what you get when you vote Republicans to control shit.
But it could be better. So why not improve? What's the point of not improving? I mean, change is a part of life. We can't stay stagnant or fall back.
Lawmakers seek answers after Ryan asked House Chaplain to resign.
What?
Paul Ryan apparently is trying to force out the House Chaplain.
How the fuck does that?
Apparently there's a House Chaplain. Do you know what a chaplain is?
Not really. Isn't it church related?
Yeah.
Sort of a... kind of like a non-denominational group chaplain for kind of like a priest,
Yeah.
but not quite.
You can marry, have kids.
Oh, okay.
But they're religious leaders still.
Oh, okay.
Let's
They'll
see.
talk to you about your family, whatnot.
Mm.
Shit that's bothering you.
But yeah,
No,
they,
so
they
your
do the
therapist-
they do the
spiritual
opening
guidance.
prayers and stuff like that. Let's see. Apparently, he
It
had
doesn't
2
matter. Planet
resignations.
X is going to kill us.
Okay, enough about Planet X.
I don't know. Aliens were supposed to take over. What if this guy is like? What if tomorrow he's like, oh man, I messed up the math again. It's in May.
Basically, this article is just saying it's not clear. Okay, come on.
What? Sorry.
So anyway, the article is basically saying that we don't know why. It is unclear.
Oh yeah, the chaplain.
Yeah.
Find out he was molesting boys or something. Oh, it has to be Catholic for that
I
one.
don't give a fuck.
We were less religion, the better.
Judge rules you can kick people out of a bar for supporting Trump. Please proceed accordingly.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I just like that headline. But, you know, on
Make
the
America
other
great.
hand, I mean...
It's also discrimination.
No, I mean, because they're not exactly a protected class of people. They're idiots, and that's not a protected class.
Fair.
Well,
But-
it's because of the "Make America Great Again" hats.
I honestly
wearing it,
don't
they could be like,
agree
"We don't
with
want you
just
here."
randomly kicking people out of public spaces because you disagree with their opinion.
Yeah.
I don't have to like what you have to say. I don't care what hat you're wearing. I just want to eat my damn dinner, and so do you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it comes down to like the cake thing. You're like, I don't care if it was for a gay wedding or whatever. I'll make the damn cake.
Right.
So I'm going to take your money and we're going to move
But
on.
I mean, if they're causing problems,
Yeah.
then yeah. If they're loudly proclaiming their love for Trump and that everybody else can go to hell and they're just being belligerent and assholes, then by all means kick them out of your bar. But if they're just sitting there drinking their beer with their stupid MAGA hat on, let them sit there and drink their fucking beer.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't hurting nobody. They're
Let 'em
not
drink
doing
their
anything.
Kool-Aid.
They're wearing an offensive hat. Who cares?
Let them drink their Kool-Aid.
I've seen crazier shit. But, it's time for us to take a break.
Alright, we'll see you after the break. Maybe we'll see some headlines in the middle of it. Alright, bye. Alright, we're back.
Oh, giddy. Alright. Let's see. Democratic Senator Robert Menendez is severely admonished by Ethics Committee.
Disappearance of 2 Oklahoma girls stumped police for 18 years. Then they learned about the Polaroids.
Washington Post again. Kyle Swinson is the author. The accused killers kept the Polaroid photos as trophies. Witnesses would later tell investigators the frozen moments were reminders of what they had done and useful threats to anyone who was thinking about talking. Let's see. A dozen pictures secreted away in a soft leather briefcase. In some images, the 2 missing 16-year-old girls were bound and gagged, thrown together on a bed, facing one another. Others showed the teens duct taped to chairs. Although law enforcement in Oklahoma never discovered the photos, the lost images were burned into the memory of enough witnesses to serve as vital clues to unlocking a horrific cold case that had stumped investigators for 18 years.
Whoa.
On December 30th, 1999, Ashley Freeman and Loria Bible vanished from the scene of a double murder and arson in rural Oklahoma, sparking a hunt stretching from to Mexico and Canada.
Wow.
After years of false starts and small gains on Monday, investigators announced they had finally identified 3 men in connection with the abduction and death of Freeman and Bible: Warren, Phil Welch, David Pennington, and Ronnie Busick.
Yeah.
Both Welch and Pennington are dead. Busick was arrested on Sunday in Wichita.
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm glad it wasn't in my family.
Right? Let's see.
The cane.
He was, on Wednesday, the cane-using 66-year-old was returned to Craig County to face 4 murder counts. He has not filed a plea, and no lawyer was listed for him in interviews with police before his arrest. Busick denied any part in the crimes. Of course he did.
What?
In interviews with police before his arrest, he denied any part in the crimes.
We'll see what the evidence says.
Well,
that's awful, though, if he had any part in that.
it's crazy. Well,
So
hopefully,
keeping trophies.
hopefully justice is served. If he is innocent, then hopefully they find that he is innocent. And if he is not innocent, hopefully justice is served in that as well.
Mm-hmm. It sucks.
Woman who killed husband's mistress had binoculars, ammo, rubber gloves, and earplugs. I'm thinking that was premeditated.
Yeah.
That's not something you just sort of happen to have on you.
That's funny.
Teacher found with heroin at school had a relationship with student. Nice.
Ew.
Nice.
Is this Oklahoma? Sounds Oklahoma.
Nope, I think it's Atlanta. Cops. Let's
God
see.
damn.
Yeah, because it's Atlanta.
Black. I don't care how old this kid was. Like, you're in a higher position than they are. It's not okay.
Wow. Okay then.
I want to know more. Let's go back up.
There's really not a whole lot of details there.
The student was underage at the time. Last year. Spencer was arrested Wednesday after authorities searched her belongings and found heroin. Sheriff Scott Chitwood said. Earlier that day, staff and students noticed Spencer behaving unusually and notified school officials. They checked on her, escorted her to the office.
And I don't think, we're at AJC. Reza Habersham is the author of the article.
Did we forget the last article to cite it?
I don't think so. No, it was the Washington Post.
Okay.
I may not have said the name of the... Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Kyle Swenson.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
Yep. Don't want to
Michigan approves marijuana legalization. Vote for November.
Michigan's going to vote on weed.
Woohoo! Hopefully Oklahoma does right in June.
June 26th, yo.
June 26th. That's my birthday.
The Detroit Free Press. Kathleen Gray is the author.
Maybe they can use the money to fix Flint.
Who knows? I don't
Doubtful
know.
that they would actually do that.
They actually tested like Detroit, and a lot of homes in Detroit have the same problem.
Yep.
It sounds like it's all over Michigan.
It's all over the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have not been updating our infrastructure like we're supposed to, and pipes are leaching lead.
Yeah.
It's
You're talking
all over the place.
Any old state like that, So you makes you wonder,
So how do you find out about something like that before you
get
move
tested?
You have it tested.
it? Okay. Is that something I need to be looking out for when I buy a
Yeah.
house?
Yeah.
Okay.
And out of the tap, like out of the kitchen sink and out of the bathtub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you gotta think of all those old homes.
Yeah.
So it looks
Especially,
like
you know, if you think
Michigan
New York,
Nanders.
Jersey.
So how do you fix something like that? How expensive is it?
You have the plumbing replaced.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
They have to knock through the walls and shit?
Depends on where the pipes are.
Yeah.
Usually they're like wood floor or whatever. No, this would suck if it's concrete.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is all concrete on my floors.
Yeah, it really just depends on where they're running the pipes. Okay. Anyway,
I
moving
doubt they
on.
put it in the concrete.
Oh my gosh, can we stop talking about the damn plumbing?
I'm concerned.
You don't need to be. Your house was built after 1950. You're fine.
Okay, so I need to look for a house that was built after 1950.
Not necessarily.
I need my survival chances to go up, okay? I'm worried about the future, man.
Okay, well, I'm worried about the rest of this freaking podcast.
Yeah.
I really don't want to talk about non-existent pipes right now.
Filter, oil, filter.
Even then, it might be
Still.
poisoned.
Let's see.
Fine, distill it, then filter it.
Oh yeah, did you hear there was a murder here in town?
Yeah, I heard about that. Everybody was talking about it at work, and I was like, what the
Holy
fuck
shit,
are you
in
talking
Oklahoma?
about?
Yeah, it was
Norman?
over. Yeah, it was
Wow.
over. By
Yeah.
Emerald Green
Yeah.
Apartments.
Another beheading, the guy running
He's-
around naked?
No.
No.
People were all over the store on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Emerald Green Apartments?
over by Emerald Green.
Cops were
Apartments.
all over Norman looking for the guy.
Yeah, they had identified her, the chick.
Was it a woman?
Yeah,
Wow.
the murdered suspect, or not the person that was murdered was a female.
Oh, okay. Oh, that sucks.
Let's see, News Channel 4.
Way to make it on the news, Norman.
Kelsey Gibbs. That and a winning OU game is about all we ever make it on for.
Yeah.
Let's see. Authorities and family members
Yeah,
fight
we
to
got
defend a
something.
woman who was found murdered in an apartment complex near the University of Oklahoma.
That sucks.
Police were called to report a body or a deceased female in the 2800 block of Dewey Avenue. They discovered the body of Brittany Rose Young. She had died from apparent trauma to the head. It was a domestic relationship issue.
Fuck. Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
He stomped the victim's head with his foot while she lay on the floor.
Jesus
Awesome.
Christ. She was holding her baby.
Well, he pulled her into the apartment or whatever. Neighbors called 911 when they saw him take off running. Yay, Norman.
That's awful. Wait, was it her kid or a person's kid that brought her in? Like what?
No, she was holding her kid when she was pulled into the apartment.
And then beat to death?
And then, yeah.
With her kid?
I guess her kid was still in the apartment.
I'm going to assume that the child
Since he was 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's freaking awful. That's probably going to...
Great, just made a Dexter.
Yeah.
That's
No,
gonna
I
mess
hope
that
not.
kid up for sure.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking terrible.
Video
Oh, was that the...
could be evidence in jail death case by Joy Hampton.
That's the man that...
CNHI News, Oklahoma. Let's see, that old man who died in Cleveland County Jail has filed a petition to protect evidence he believes could be critical to future legal action. Michael C. Washington, a paralegal, filed a temporary restraining order and a temporary injunction against Sheriff Todd Gibson, F. Dwayne Beggs Detention Center and Norman Regional Hospital on April 16th. The petition states the video footage at the hospital and the jail captures each agency's encounter with Marconia Kesey, Washington's nephew. Kesey was arrested by Norman Police at Norman Regional Hospital on trespassing charges January 16th after he refused to leave the emergency room following an exam. He died in jail a short time later because he needed medical help. And the hospital kicked him out and then called the cops on him.
Because he was a homeless man.
He was
A homeless black man.
not in his right mind because he was suffering a medical condition at the time. And instead of treating him or acting like there was actually something wrong with him, the hospital kicked him out and called the cops. And then when he refused to leave the grounds, the police arrested him. And not very well. Honestly, I've seen the video. They did not handle it well. Not very proud of our local PD on that one.
Oh, but Norman citizens are pissed.
Oh, very.
Very. There have been many city council meetings.
Oh my gosh, you need to see some of the Facebook posts. For real.
Oh, for real. Oh yeah, they're getting their asses chewed.
Yeah, they are.
They're getting their asses chewed by the public. Bad.
And right, they should. They did not handle that situation correctly at all.
At all.
The hospital did not handle that situation correctly. They really should have tried to figure out why
this is a
man
town
was not,
of...
He was not speaking clearly.
Yeah.
There was clearly something wrong with him. And I'm not a medical professional, and there was clearly something wrong with him.
Yeah.
He was asking for help, and he didn't get it.
They ignored him.
Yep.
Treated him like trash, and
a lot of our homeless and mentally ill get treated that way in this town, which is sickening.
in the state.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, Norman is especially bad because we have the state mental health hospital.
Yeah.
You know, so we get the worst of it because they're here. They get shipped to this hospital and they get released here.
Yeah. Away from their homes and stuff?
I don't care what happens to them when they walk out the door.
That's freaking messed up. That's like prison.
Yeah.
Except you're supposed to go there for mental help.
Yeah.
And then they just street you and you figure it out after that.
If you're lucky, they might give you like a bus ticket home or some shit. You never know.
I would have to ask a close friend of ours about that.
Yeah. She'd probably know a little bit more about it than I do, but
yeah.
I know what our state funds look like, and I know how our state treats our most vulnerable people in our population. Yeah. So I know how they feel about our disabled and our elderly and our mentally ill and our homeless, because I see
they treat all of us like crap.
Yeah, I see how they fund things around here.
Our local food and shelter can't even get funding.
Yeah, not even grants. It's a homeless shelter.
It's
they feed people.
Yeah.
And they can't get funding.
Twice a day, for free, no questions asked. You can go there and get food and get something to eat.
If you're hungry and you don't have food, you can go and get breakfast and lunch.
At the local food and shelter on Reed off of Main.
And they need donations of food. They need money.
They need all the help that they can get. And we fundraise for them all the time in the Social Justice Committee at church. All the time.
Yeah.
Mostly yearly.
And
just about yearly.
Because our state won't, they won't help house our mentally ill. They won't help treat people that aren't in their right mind. They won't help support their support systems. So if, say, for instance, I have a child that needs round-the-clock care, they won't help me to do that. So either I would choose between working all the time to support this child, or I do not have one of these children, just by the way, I'm just hypothetical, or I could not work and take care of my child but get zero support from the state.
So you're at a lose-lose situation.
Yeah. And we used to at least give those people a small, very, very, very small income for the round-the-clock care that they were offering their family members. And the state wasn't having to because they weren't in a home.
Mm-hmm.
They were in their own homes, being cared for by family members, instead of a state facility being cared for by strangers.
Yeah.
And
the way we treat just our own people in general is just, it's
sad.
It's disgusting and shameful. And I hope that we can move on and do better as the years go by. I hope we continue to progress, even though there are established members in our society who have decided how things are going to go. Hopefully we can get past it and improve, because that's what we need, or else we're no longer going to be the top of countries. Yeah, we're already declining as it is. It's not the best place to live in the world. Anybody who immigrates here, I don't understand why.
Because they
Mexicans,
still believe that...
I understand because it's closest. It's the easiest country to access that's not
theirs.
That's not South America. So...
Mexico is not in South America.
I know. Mexico is in North America? Yes. So the next country to them is...
Central
America?
Yeah, like Panama's even better, or...
There's, like...
I know.
Stuff in between Mexico and South America. I'm not sure what, but...
There's a little strip.
You've extended my geography skills, and
yeah,
that little strip is a
kind
huge chunk of land here.
I'm kind of bad with geography. I'm talking out of my ass at this point.
Oh no, Brazil's probably not that bad. If you're gonna head south.
But that appears to not be the goal.
No,
Mexico.
I should be looking elsewhere. So.
What? That's so... Mexico map. Okay.
Okay, so...
Uh-huh.
Guatemala would be the next country.
Oh, okay.
Which is in... This would be
Shithole
Central
It's
America
a shithole
right
country.
here. It's a shithole. Yeah. Mexico.
That would be such a large border.
Over 2,000 miles.
What? Which one?
The Mexico-U.S. border. It's virtually impossible to wall off the whole damn thing.
And homes are on that border.
Yeah, there's homes and golf courses and, people's land.
He's
and
literally
cities.
just talking out of his butt.
Entire cities straddle that border, and they just want to run a wall straight through it.
Idiots. They can't do that. That's fucking Germany Berlin Wall bullshit.
Yeah,
There's no way. There's too many people who would be throwing the fits over where that wall's going to end up having to go.
Yeah, you might
entire other governments.
Like the entire southern border of Texas.
Yeah. No, yeah, people won't be happy in Texas.
Yeah, these people right here.
Texas bitches a lot. We would never hear the end of it.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, they'd be happy because they're black and brown people. What are you talking about?
I don't know. If they were
if
running through their homes,
lands, their homes,
people
no.
forget to, they can go over, under, and around.
People imagine...
Yeah, considering most of our immigration is on airplanes, a wall isn't going to do a whole lot of good.
No.
Or you can get on a boat.
Yeah, get a visitor's pass, come to the United States, and then don't go home. That's how most people immigrate here.
Yeah.
They don't burrow under the wall. Drug dealers are not throwing...
That's very Hollywood.
And it's... Yeah,
stuff, isn't
I mean... Yeah, some people cross on foot through the desert. Really, just not a whole lot, because it's super dangerous to do that.
Yeah. In a lot more ways.
You have to be seriously desperate to do something like that.
Yeah.
And there are people who do, but the vast majority of them are coming here on airplanes.
Yeah, it's the easiest way.
They're coming here legally on a
but staying
visa.
illegally.
They're on vacation, and they just don't go freaking home.
Yeah.
That's it.
So that's the reason why we need to build a maze, not a wall.
That's why I'm
if you find a way through, you made it.
Why?
You made it. You are the chosen.
Why are people going through all the trouble of sneaking in here as a refugee when they could come in on a visa? Like, there's so many other kinds of visas that are easy as hell to get.
Yeah.
Coming in as a refugee is hard as shit.
Or, yeah, you get vetted.
Like, by 18 different agencies. And that's before you get vetted by our agencies.
Yeah.
And then it's another 18. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yes, it's much easier just to come in here on a visa. There are other. I mean, well, there's different types of visas.
It's really not about the. I don't think it's about the terrorism or anything that there's.
That's just the excuse that they use.
Yeah.
So speaking to it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if I'm a terrorist, I'm not going to try to come in as a refugee.
No.
It is hard as fuck. It takes too goddamn long.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to come in here on a work visa as a student. Come here on vacation. Mm-hmm. There are ways into this country that are far simpler
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but with Trump's travel ban and stuff, a lot of people are not coming here. So
Yeah.
a lot of schools.
So
are
it's
saying-
even more likely that that's how it...
A YouTuber, David Dobrik, he can't even leave the country because
Oh, yeah, because if he leaves, he's not getting back in.
he can't come back in.
Yeah.
Well,
His lawyer explicitly was like, you will not come back into this country.
No.
Did you see the news article about the DACA?
They blocked the DACA rescinding, and
Yeah.
they've got to keep accepting new applications.
Yep. They have
well,
to keep people. Which I'm so happy to hear.
well, I
I'm
was
so
reading-
happy to hear that.
Yeah,
Well,
but
like
that doesn't mean they're
yesterday I
not
was
going to
reading-
keep continuing to try to...
Yeah, it was like yesterday
I
when
know,
I was
but
reading a deal
I'm
where
glad that something good happened.
Yeah.
Even if it's probably going to turn to shit in a minute.
Right.
This is still good news for the moment.
well, for the United States with the whole travel ban, apparently higher education places are seeing a really big drop in their international.
Well, I think that's a lot of the reason for all the houses standing empty here in town. I'll tell you, 5 years ago, you never would have seen a house standing empty in March. You'd have been lucky to find anything but maybe an apartment to rent anywhere in this town in March. Good luck. You needed to move in March, you were going to be hard-pressed to find something.
Mm-hmm.
Especially something for a reasonable price. Now,
I'm so glad I
There's-
looked in the summer.
stuff up for rent everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's a house across the street from me. Never, ever stood empty. Just spent the last 6 months empty.
Yeah.
Never stood empty. Never did I see that sign up for more than 2 weeks. And it just stood open for like 6 months. It was crazy. Never
Blue
seen
house
it.
at the end of the street?
No, the one directly across from me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Never saw that house standing empty that long.
Yeah. Usually it's picked up within a month or two.
Honestly, within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Put out the sign by the first of the month, it's rented.
Is it still empty?
No, it just got rented.
Wow.
Like they just moved in.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean,
It's an expensive place to live, though.
we are in an expensive neighborhood, and that may be part of the problem. But
It's probably easy
because-
Damn
1,000
high.
because of
It's a 3-bed.
and it is
Is
within walking. I think it's still only a 2.
It's a
it's within
a 2-bed.
2. It's within walking distance
Of 3 schools.
Every
4,
school,
5. I'm counting.
every school your kid could possibly need to go to, elementary through high
And a
school.
park.
Yeah.
You're next to a
A
park,
park. Mhm.
within
Oh, God.
3 blocks of a park.
And the food options.
There are multiple restaurants, a nail salon, a tuxedo shop, 2 pharmacies, CVS and Walgreens.
There used to be a grocery store.
There used to be a grocery store. But no, there's still a grocery store a half mile away,
Yeah.
well within walking distance.
Mhm.
There's another
Another
one
one.
the other direction, about a half a mile away,
Yeah.
well within walking distance.
Then the restore.
Yeah, we have plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty.
It's a good
And
location.
it's a wonderful location. It's a good thing we got in that neighborhood in 1986, or we would not be able to afford to move into it now.
No.
My mom bought that house for $53,000 in 1986.
And it was in good condition then. I want a house that cheap. Oh my God, that would make my looking
Wait for the
so much
housing bubble.
easier.
Today,
Across.
the houses in my neighborhood go for an average of about $100,000 to
$100,000.
$150,000.
Well,
150,000.
Hey,
Richard and Helga's
Depending
house?
on that. So, I bet their house is way more than that.
Oh, I need
Well,
to.
I was just
move
talking
that.
about the regular size houses that haven't been
just
so
wait for
massively
the housing
expanded.
market to crash again, and you'll be able to pick up a house for cheap.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
You've got the pre-approval. Houses come up for sale all the time.
Mhm.
You'll find something.
Yeah, I'm looking for something with a garage, 3 bedrooms,
And
a
at least-
garage. Did I say garage?
Yeah.
Garage,
And at least
3
a
bedrooms,
decent yard.
a decent yard, back preferably. I don't really care about the front.
Fenced in.
Fenced in backyard, and that's about all I require. A storm cellar would be great, but it's not at my priority list.
Yeah, it's not a must-have, it's a want.
It's a want. It's something that I would like to have, but if I don't have it, it's not gonna kill me.
But your realtor is looking out for you,
Yeah.
so you got this. It's just going to take time.
I just assume that she's going to message me when she finds something
Yeah. So I figure keep hitting Trulia and Zillow too.
Yeah, I keep updated. I get daily
and Realtor.com
alerts. I get daily alerts from all of them, including her. So
yeah, something will pop up.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Prices decrease a lot.
Somebody's grandma will die, and they just want to unload her house super cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And we just didn't get the jump on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what that one was.
Literally around the time that I got my loan is when all the good houses were being taken up.
Don't worry. Since all
at my price range,
in charge and all that,
things will crash.
We'll have another depression area. Then you'll be able to get a house cheap.
I'm worried about money.
Well, I mean,
I'm worried about surviving.
Keeping your loan to reasonable amounts so that if something does happen and you're forced to live on minimum wage, you can and still make your house payment.
It'll be the first thing I pay.
So
I'm not losing my house.
So, I mean,
under no circumstances.
But you're also trying to keep your mortgage, insurance, etc. to the level where you can make that payment.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what. If you have to work minimum wage or you're doing wonderfully, you're making that payment. It'll be no more than you're paying here. This is a level you know you can afford. You can cut corners elsewhere, you know.
620 is my... 620 to 650 is my limit on how much I'm willing to pay.
Yeah, anything much more than that.
Forever. That's it. That's all I ever want to have to pay. It's the cheapest rent I can afford. With my comfort level.
That's pretty much what we pay. The actual mortgage, though, is only like... Let's say I pay $630, so the mortgage is like $430.
That's about how much mine would be, my mortgage.
Well, yeah, but we don't... I mean, that's the insurance and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when we refinanced, we got a much lower rate.
It's at like 3...
But then once you pay all the insurance... See, but I'm paying $200 over the total amount.
Yeah. It just depends on what house I buy and what the bank is willing to lend me.
Right.
So.
Well, we're hitting our mark, our 1 hour mark.
Okay. Alright. That was the Jazz and Eli podcast. I'm Eli.
I'm Jazz.
And we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Eli Podcasts. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
And share.
And
provide our links down in the description.
I always do.
Okay.
We don't have a lot of links.
I know, but what few links we have.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, I forgot to tell... I'll fix it later. Alright. Bye.